Bad news. Vasyl Lomachenko says Devin Haney will never, ever fight Gervonta Davis. He said he's going to move up in weight instead to 140 pounds. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Yeah, now come in, subscribe to the channel, best in the business, and I'm back at it again. Ellie Sekback, ES News, has a brand new interview with Lomachenko. And for the record, I think this is Lomachenko's first interview. I don't recall Lomachenko, since the Devin Haney loss, really doing many exclusive interviews. So this is the first time we're seeing him on camera answer questions. Now, Ellie asked the question, if Devin Haney fights Gervonta Tank Davis next, what happens? To which Vasyl Lomachenko responded, it will never happen, because now Devin Haney, he understands his skills, understands his level, and now I think he's going to go to 140 pounds to fight just regular boxers. End quote, Lomachenko. So it's obvious Lomachenko has an axe to grind with Devin Haney. He's basically saying in layman's terms that Devin Haney is not at that level, and his fight, he's alluding to his fight showing and proving that Devin Haney's at a certain level. And since he's a southpaw and Gervonta Davis is a fellow southpaw with more power and very explosive and younger, he's suggesting that Devin Haney would never fight against Gervonta Davis because he had all the problems in the world with him, a southpaw. Ego thoughts. Well, for starters, ever since Lomachenko lost to Devin Haney, he's been throwing a tantrum, so I don't really expect anything more from Lomachenko at this point. He sounds very salty and very bitter about the loss. He knew that was an important win. It was a legacy fulfillment type of fight because he would have been undisputed for the first time. And I'm not going to get into the whole saga, but basically they were trying to lie, they being old media, and say Lomachenko was undisputed previously and that he had all the belts and held all the cards. Then Teofimo went around doing the same thing, but we know that wasn't the case because they had a full body WBC belt that Devin Haney had, and Lomachenko opted to not fight him, which he probably should have because Devin Haney had less experience. He was a bit smaller because he was younger, things like that. He waited, and then he got what he got, which was a close fight, a tough fight, but a loss as well. Third loss on his career in only 20 fights. So Lomachenko, he sounds real bitter. I don't know if Devin Haney would fight Gervonta Davis, but like I said, since the loss to Devin Haney, nothing he says is positive. And he's angry. He was crying. He was crying in there. He was making all these feminine women gestures and noises. He was crying. You know, everybody seen him cry, and now he's crying. This is an extension of him crying minus the tears. That's the only difference here is he sounds salty. He sounds mad. And I guess he's going to lash out in every interview, every Instagram post, every boomerang he posts, any Snapchat, like whatever he posts. It sounds like Devin Haney is a marked man and he's not going to give credit. You know, he said post-fight, I thought Devin Haney was going to be better and the whole world knows I won. You know, at the end of the day, whatever helps you sleep at night, I guess. Ultimately, none of that stuff is going to change. You're still not undisputed. You've still never been undisputed. You still have 3 losses and you have a loss to Devin Haney. Now, I don't know why his team said we won't give Devin Haney a rematch, which they should be seeking. I've never really seen that. Usually, if you think you got robbed, you definitely want a rematch if you feel you're better than someone. We seen Jermell Charlo when he lost a close fight to Tony Harrison. He also cried in the back, but he also demanded a rematch immediately and signed up for it and actually completed it. The only reason it wasn't an immediate rematch is Tony Harrison pulled out with an injury. So to me, I think Lomachenko looks bad here just with this tantrum. And the last thing I'll say is Devin Haney, he was calling out. You got to keep in mind, Devin Haney hasn't always been able to give fights. He was calling out everybody, including Lomachenko, way back when people were overlooking him. People said, oh, you're an email champ. You don't deserve this opportunity, and just completely ignored him. And he kept doing it, and barking up those trees until things opened up and he got the fights. And then when he got the hardware and the belts, then the tables turned, but he had to. Ryan Garcia was supposed to fight Jojo Diaz, and through a series of these unfortunate events, Ryan pulled out, and then he ended up fighting Jojo Diaz because he called him out. You got to give credit to Devin Haney for that. Same thing with George Kambosos. Was a fight lined up for Lomachenko to try to be undisputed by Top Rank, but he chose to defend his country because his country's at war torn, which is great. That's a decision you made, but now that's why you've never realized the dream of undisputed. Devin Haney answered the call. He called out Lomachenko, he called out Jojo Diaz, and then he called out Kambosos when Lomachenko wasn't going to fight. He said, I'll go over there, even though I don't have half of my team in Australia. I'll fight him in Australia. If I win, I'll give him a rematch in Australia. And he did that, and he convincingly beat Kambosos twice. So Lomachenko, he can't really be mad. And like I said, to just suggest that this 24-year-old who fought 5 former champions is automatically not going to fight Gervonta Davis, it sounds like sour grapes to me. Devin Haney has acquitted himself well, and especially you look at his last several fights, he's calling for the best, down to fight the best. So just to assume the worst and assume that he'll duck Gervonta Davis, I think that's more sour grapes from Lomachenko, really bitter and mad because he's never been undisputed. And for whatever reason, he doesn't think Devin Haney's that good. But I don't think you can throw that jacket on Devin Haney based on what he's done at the age of 24. The way he's moved, nothing about the way he's moved has signified that he'll duck whoever, So that's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Is this Lomachenko angry because he lost, or do you think Devin Haney would duck a fight with Gervonta Davis? I think win, lose, or draw. I'm not saying this is not a fight prediction because I don't give predictions typically unless the fight's signed. So I'm not saying Devin Haney beats Gervonta Davis, but at the end of the day, to just suggest that he'll duck him off rip, that sounds like bitterness because you lost, regardless of if you think Tank beats Devin Haney or not. Because after the Lomachenko fight, I did see a lot of people who switched up and gave Devin Haney no chance. Like, oh, Tank is too powerful, and if Lomachenko was hitting you with them lefts, it's going to be over if you fight Tank. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. I am the best in the business. So if you want the best conversations in boxing on this YouTube platform, subscribe. Best in the business, and I'm out.